Hi, this is Wes Fryer. Today is August the 21st, 2020, and this is a video actually for Mr. Sarkodie and Mr. Hamilton, who are also working with students blogging with WriteAbout. But anybody else who is setting up a WriteAbout blog, this might be helpful. WriteAbout is a great platform for students being able to engage in interactive writing, not only with classmates, but also with the ability to share publicly for comments, and it allows teachers to moderate the posts and the comments, and I'm very excited to be using it this semester with my own sixth graders, and then in this pilot project that we're doing at our school on interactive writing. So what my students actually just did last class period was they signed in to WriteAbout with their Google account, and they used my teacher code in order to get connected to my account. And I will make a separate video about this. What I want to show now is how you create your class and then how you put your students in there. It doesn't appear that the invitation code, I tried to do the Google Classroom setup and it wouldn't synchronize for me, so I had to do this manually. Maybe you'll get the Google Classroom to work, but it appears to be great if we could do it with the Google Classroom, because this was a little bit trickier. But what I had to do instead of importing from Google Classroom is this manual setup, and so I went ahead and it's great that you can see all of your kids' posts, and even publicly people can see those, whatever class they're in. But you want to go ahead, I think, and create for your separate sections a separate class for them. So you put a name in there. If you put your name in, then students and others can search for your last name in order to find your class. And if you want to have a description, you can. Then you are going to have an opportunity, I think, to choose an avatar. And so you can pick whatever avatar you'd like. You can also upload one that's just a square. And then you could go ahead and add students. And so this is the part that I'm ready to do, because my students have already logged in with Google and they used my code. So if you don't do this, if you don't do that first, then you'll just want to skip over this step and come back later and add your students. But I wish there was an easier way to do this, and like I said, I think this is why there's an option to sync to Google Classroom, but either because I just had so many Google Classroom classes that I had been connected to in the past, or for some other reason, that did not work for me. So fortunately, these classes do not have too many kids in them, so I can go ahead and search through and find these names. But once I've got these connected, then students are going to be able to choose when they share their post if they want to share that to our class, and then also if they want to share it publicly. So I really do like how students have that ability to make that choice. So, okay, I think that's it. So 12 students are going to be added, and I'll go ahead and click next. And if I want to have a password in there, I can do that. I'll probably just do that later so it doesn't get recorded in the video. That way that password, I guess, would be required in order to join, and ta-da, we're ready to get started. So I have both of my classes put together now. So if I go ahead and click on this class, then I can, and I click on Add Students. Actually, I don't know if this, no, that won't list that. Maybe it's here underneath my posts. I think that's it. So all of my students have at least drafted posts. Now that I have both my classes, maybe I need to put my name on that other one. I can go ahead and see these posts. This one has already been published. Here's an example of how those posts come in. When students choose to write them, I've got to approve them. So I can click here on Read, and I can go ahead and read it. Our assignment today, the students had made an image collage on a shared Google slideshow to just tell a little bit about themselves, and so I asked them to save that as an image from Google Drive, and then they were able to put that picture on here, and then I wanted them to write a couple sentences and then put one hyperlink on. So there were 4 things they needed to actually have on this first assignment. So this looks great. I'm going to go ahead and click approve, and now that post is published. So if Elizabeth chose to share that publicly, then it would be visible here on our public website. if it was just published for our class, then only classmates would be able to see it. So anyway, that's just a little bit about the setup and getting into WriteAbout and starting to moderate. Up here in the corner when you're logged in, you have both the link to click on posts to review as well as comments to review, and you can choose to filter those. So if I just want to see the ones that are ready to be published, I can even filter those by class, and I could approve them all, but I do recommend that you actually read those individually before approving them. All right, there's a little bit about WriteAbout. I hope that's helpful.